should be on. The blue light's on?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything's good to go.
All right. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tiffany's Quilting Life, where we have breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm Tiffany, your host. But you already knew that, right? I mean, come on now. Do I really need to say that every time? I don't know. Do I? Shit. We're working on the same project as last week. As you can see behind me, I started a triangle project using an equilateral triangle, and this is where I am at. Although last time you probably just saw the thing, you didn't see the end down at the bottom there, and there's one at the top. I figured I'd utilize those last triangles, which I have like a remainder of 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3. I have a remainder of 3 because I think I'm going to fill the top with a triangle strip and the bottom with a triangle strip and make it look like it's kind of like imploding out of some sort. But I do like my layout, and that's where I'm going to keep it. So let's see who's all here, and then we will get started. Okay. Got Karen, the traveling quilter, Beverly, Dawn, Polly, Judy, Christine, Tracy, Ramona, Lynn, Brenda, Lois, Linda, Lydia, Melissa. Oh my goodness, and another ad popped up and I lost my screen. Tracy, Christine, where are we at? Jim, and so many, many more. Yep. What? You don't want to be up, huh? He's like, I don't want to be out here. I want to go to my bed and hide. Say, I'm going to go hide now. Bye, everybody.
Tell him we have the doors and windows open.
The doors,
he's running around like mad.
Yeah, the doors and windows are open for airflow in this house, and he likes them open because he likes to do things that are all crazy weird when it's all open. Anyways, on my equilateral triangle, I used the 5.5 inch marking on these, or 5-inch marking. Honestly, I can't tell anymore because I can barely read. I should probably find my spectacles and put those on. No, it's the 5.5 line. Yep. So I cut 5.5 inch triangles. So now I need to cut some white. And we need, I'm going to do a whole strip up there. So I'm going to cut a 5-inch strip for the bottom and for the top, and then cut the equilateral, the one direction for the top and the opposite direction for the bottom. And then I need to cut some 5.5 inch strips for the sides. Actually, no, because I need half. So I need to cut 6-inch strips so that I can have half. I'm thinking about this out loud. This is usually this whole thing is just me telling you guys out loud what I'm doing. So for now, I'm going to start with my top and bottom pieces with a 5.5 inch cut.
Remind them again that in the description below your videos, you put stuff.
Yeah, in the description below the video is where I have how much yardage and stuff that I've used for this project. Let's make sure these are lined up.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah.
That in there earlier.
Yeah.
It's on every video.
It's on every video. I write whatever I can in the description below. Some videos may not have it, and some videos have it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's a half. Gotta pay attention to the lines. All right, so I'm gonna grab my cutter. Oop, come on, get that little tiny itty bitty corner. All right. So one is going to go one direction and one is going to go the other. So this one goes triangle that way. So I'm going to take my equilateral triangle here and I'm going to cut my end this way. Yeah, I need to go this way. So I'm going to line the half mark up here. Line that up down there. And this one will go up here, which I'm not sure if you guys can even see at the very moment. And I'm not going to cut the ends because I'm going to trim the whole quilt. Yeah. So the other one needs to go. You don't need to move the camera. I mean, you can if you want for a moment. Tilt it up just a little. All right, and then the bottom one.
It is white on white, so it's kind of hard to see.
Needs to go. Hold on, I gotta hold it this way so that I know that it goes this way. Right here on this side. So I'm gonna line this up, make my cut. And then this one. Nope, that's the wrong direction. See, I knew it. The triangle is a 60-degree triangle, yes. It is an equilateral 60-degree. All right, and this one goes. Since I'm using a solid, I can just turn it around. So there, I did not really mess up. All right, that's down there. Ta-da. And now I need to cut some 5-inch strips so that I can cut out these pieces right here. Actually, no, what did I say? 5-inch. I don't want 5-inch. I want 6-inch so that I can cut them a little more funkier than normal. No, I could do 5.5. Yeah, I just need to make sure that I have a 1/2 inch at the top and side of each one. That's right. Okay. Let's make this work. 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to use this. And then I'm going to go ahead and just turn this and use these to make. I'm going to see if this is 60-degree real quick.
I can hand you stuff.
This is 60. Okay. It is not 60. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find a 60
Doesn't it say on it?
in all my rulers here.
No, it doesn't.
I'm matching up my equilateral because it doesn't say on some of these. Nope, that's not the right angle either. Oh well, I'll just do it the way I know how.
Well, you need a protractor now to tell you
Yeah.
which one each one is.
All right. We're just going to cut over a little bit on all of them because I just need the halves. I need a 1/2 of it. So I'm just going to slide it over just a little bit so that I have a 1/4 inch on my 1/2. I'll turn this around and I'm going to make a straight cut with a straight cut ruler. And I'm going to cut it a 1/4 inch away. Haha, this is the smart way to do it. Like that. So now, this can go here. That one can go here. See? I can do this. Just like that. Okay. So I'm going to cut out my triangle and then cut a straight. So cutting straight here, I'm going to line up my 1/4 inch right there. Just like that. And then put more in. I don't want to overcut, so that's why I'm cutting and then placing them up here. That way I don't overcut, because I tend to do that often, which you guys already know. If I was not using a solid, you need the front facing for both directions. So one would go on this side and one would go on that side. But I'm using a solid, so it really doesn't matter because both sides are the same. Oh, I should have made them longer because of that whole bottom section. I'm going to have to figure that out. I guess I could piece a piece to them. That's what I can do. Like this one can go like this. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. Okay, cut out another triangle right here. That's about a 1/4 inch away on that. Right there. Line it up there. Make the cut. Place these pieces in. So I would just use a square at the ends to make it as long as the other side.
Hard to see the white on white back now.
Or rectangles.
On the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this will go here like that. Okay, I figured it out. I know what I'm doing. And then these rectangles that I'm making will fit on the ends, which will be, I'll tell you a size in just a second. I'll know in just a minute. All right. Up. Make the cut. Place the last of these in here. And I need to cut one more of these tilted ones. Two more. I need two more. So I'm just going to move that piece out of the way and cut my second one of these, just like this. My little ruler here doesn't have like a 1/4 inch over type thing, so this I'm just kind of making it up as I go. And I don't have the correct ruler for the other direction. And this one will go here. All right, that takes care of the sides, and then I need let's measure that, and then add a 1/4 inch. I can't see what number I'm at because the color of this ruler is it's 4 inches. We're going to cut.
Another ruler?
With another ruler. 3 1/2 inch. Those are 3 1/2 inch. Let's cut some 3 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 inch pieces. And these aren't going to work because those aren't 3 1/2. We're just going to straighten this one out. And cut 3 1/2 right there. Those are garbage. So I'm cutting 3 1/2 inch pieces to go on my ends. And again, I can just trim off any excess. That way the quilt is, I probably could have just did a 3 1/2 inch strip, honestly, down this side. Oh well, this will be fine. And one more. For this side. Look at that. That'll be the right size.
You're all loving your new t-shirt.
Oh, thank you. I got it as a gift the other day in a mail opening. I need to cut, let's see, how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4 more 3.5-inch pieces. So we're going to, by 5.5. So I'm going to open my yardage up because I only need one strip. And we're going to cut a 5.5-inch strip off of it and then subcut those to 3.5. I could have cut a 3.5-inch strip and subcut, but I have my fabric going in a specific direction, so I might as well keep that same direction. Okay. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay. So my end pieces are 5.5 by 3.5. My triangles are 5.5-inch equilateral triangles. My little corners are half of my equilateral triangles plus a 1/4 inch because I don't have the top or corner clipper, so it'd be best if you had a corner clipper for that. The strip in between the jelly roll strips is 1.5 inch, and then it's 2.5 inches to create the unit. And then I have a 5.5-inch strip along the top with a cutout for the matching of that, and then one across the bottom for the cutout and the matching because I used my extra pieces. Because you don't have to do those extra pieces if you don't want to. Just letting you know. So we're going to go ahead now and start sewing these rows, and I will show you how that is done. Move that out of the way. Triangles are the same as any piecing. You're just matching it up in a different direction than you normally would. So I'm going to bring the camera around. Camera is going to move now. Sorry about that, guys. I had to turn it around. It's tangled on itself. Yep. Sorry about that. I said camera's moving. All right, we're going to show you how these triangles are sewn. I didn't mean to. I was tangled up. All right, so I'm going to do my top one. I'm going to grab the end piece right here and this piece. So here's my end piece. I know it's hard to see because of the table. And all I'm going to do is line this up right here, just like this, and I'm going to take a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm going to line up my seam guide, which was in a different number. We're going to make sure that my 1/4 inch seam is exactly a 1/4 inch. And stop dropping things while we're at it. And then I'm going to sew along this edge. We're also going to make sure, okay, good. I have a good seam allowance. So now I'm going to press this towards the dark, just like this. And you'll see I have a little 1/4 inch hang off right here. I'm just going to trim that away. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab my next piece. And I'm going to stick that right next to it, just like this. And then I'm going to sew it like this, right sides together. And you can see my seams are going the same direction, and I do want them to nest. So I'm just going to flip it, and when I get to the iron, I will press them. So I'm going to start off by not losing my thread. Where'd it go? Oh, it's way up here. Sorry, I have to rethread now. I can't ever get that one thing to work, so I just use my little hummingbird threader. All right. So I have this one seam nested, and then I'm going to flip this one and hold it and nest it, showing my 1/4 inch seam. Just like this. And then I'm going to just press it towards that piece. And when I get to here, just going to finger press like that. That way I know that that seam is already going the way I want it. Because we want our seams opposite, and we didn't know where our pieces were going to be. So we're just changing the seam allowance as we go. So now this one should nest right here. And then you start out right here on this little side, making sure the next one is nested. Oops. Oh, it is going up. Okay. All right, I can feel it. There we go. Laying it directly on here. And then I'm always just pressing towards the next piece. So now you can see the seams, even though I need to press it. You can see that they're now going the opposite direction. So here's my piece. Now we're going to add that really long top piece. So I'm just going to lay it right here. I go, okay, that's where it needs to be. I'm going to hang it over on the top by 1/4 of an inch. Hang it over on the bottom. I'm also going to try to hold this piece up because it's long. Come in on that corner. Sew it on, and I'm pressing it towards the long strip. So there is my first row. Okay, I'm going to stick it back on the wall and go to the next row. Let me get this to stay on the wall, though. Oh, yeah, that's the perfect size once they're sewn together. Look at that. I didn't even need to cut that strip down. Just leave it. All right, next row. So this is going to go right here, just like this. So I'm going to come down, matching my points up. Okay, I'm going to press it towards that piece. Actually, this one probably should have went the opposite direction, but oh well. Here's my next one. It's going to go like this, point to point. It kind of hangs over about 1/4 on that bottom part. I'm going to press this one the opposite direction because this one is now the first piece, technically.
You need me to iron in it?
No, I'm just going to finger press for now, because unless you want to put the iron right here for me so I can go from this to the iron every time. All right, next one
Put the iron over there with the mat, you mean?
goes here. I'm going to nest these seams, so it's easier to take the top one and push it down than it is to take...
No, you don't need to do it.
No, I'll do it because it's easier. Put it on top of this.
Oh, you want that one, not this?
No,
Or you want this on top
both.
of that?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
All right, so I'm pressing that one, and I'm going to press this one right here.
Let me turn it off.
It doesn't have an off. I just looked before we went live.
So is that going to come out every single time? Then?
Yep.
Okay.
Just that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, but you don't need it doing that. That's fine. You can have it set up.
Okay, so I'm gonna press it real quick so that it stays down. The iron isn't hot enough yet.
Well, I just plugged it in 30 seconds ago.
Ooh, it smells like a new iron. Okay, so that one's there. Those seams are where I need them to be. We're going to take this one now. We're going to put this right sides together. They are now opposite, so they will nest. What?
You're the one who turned that automatic thing off.
Yep. All right, again, I'm going to press this towards this way to my left because the other seams on that top row go to the right, although after this it doesn't really matter because it's a solid piece.
Steaming yet?
All right, next piece. I don't have to keep saying next piece. I just grab them down and go line it up. It should match with the top here and down at the bottom here. Again, I'm pressing it that way to the left. The next row I'm going to press to the right. Go. Now again, I'm going to press these seams in to start. Just going to change the direction of them so that way they nest. It's a nice thing to have the iron right next to you when doing this, because again, we didn't know where these were going to end. So that's why we didn't know which seam was going to go which way. Oh, I'm not even sewing because the needle came unthreaded again. I'm having an unthreaded day. Look at that. Come on. Okay. Again, I'm going to press that towards this way to the left. I'm going to press it. Grab the next. I don't know why I keep saying that, and I said that twice now. Line it up. Okay, this one I'm going to pre-press those seams the way I want them. That way they are opposite and they nest right up. So this is the same as piecing any other rows if you've never done triangles. You're just matching up points. So the top point here and the bottom point here, and you're nesting your seams, same as any other piecing. I don't know why I'm finger pressing when I literally have an iron right next to me.
You're used to it.
I'm used to it, yes.
So does that come out every time then, no matter whether we have it sit down or up?
Yep.
The other one didn't do that. That's different.
Yeah, I looked all over the whole thing. I didn't see an off switch for it. Okay. Here we go. This one, I'm going to pre-press those seams the way I want them.
Can you do a close-up on the needle threader next time it comes unthreaded?
I can zoom it in on the needle threader next time, yeah. I can do that. Just holding those seams, nesting it up. Grab another. This one goes this way. Because it's new. Because it's a new iron. Next. Okay, press those seams. First. And yes, I'm going to have to do this with every row. because I want my seams to nest. Oh, yeah, thank you. I just went and got them done. They are a pretty, like, I wanted an Easter pink, but I didn't want pastel, so I went with a fuchsia type pink because I wanted a brighter pink. All right. Right here. So there's not very, it's every other seam to nest because to change the seam direction on this, because all of these blocks pretty much face an opposite way of each other. So it actually works out perfect. You're not putting as much work into it. All right, this one's going to go here. So let's pre-do those seams. It doesn't take much effort to change the direction of them. And you can leave them the same if you want, if you think that you can nest them up nicely. I mean, you can pin it if you ever so need to. That way they stay like right next to each other like they're supposed to. Now I just need to hook my 2 white pieces. So this corner first. Just like this. And then we're going to hook that straight piece to it. Right here. And I'm just going to press that towards the 3.5 by 5 inch piece. So here is a fully sewn row. I'm going to put this up on the wall, and we're going to do the same procedure for the next row. So this row starts out with these 2 pieces. So I'm just going to hook this one to this one. And all these seams I'm going to press towards the right so that everything nests when I get to it. This one we're going to turn the seams on to the opposite direction. Just using the iron to do that. So now they will nest. And since I don't pin, I go to 1 and then hold the next. Press towards the right. The next one should already be in the position. This one doesn't need any changes. The next one will. go ahead and grab that next piece, but I'm going to change the position of the seams so they're going in towards the white. This one goes like this. Nest it up. I'm going to hold that seam. Hold the next seam. Scotty, can you go get me my hair clip off the side of the bed, please?
Yeah.
And it didn't sew. All right. Let's needle thread real quick. Let me tie my hair up real quick first, and then we'll zoom you in so that you can see the needle threader, how it works. It takes a second to tie my long hair up. All right, here we go. No. I have to come in with my arm underneath. So the thing on the needle threader, see that it's sticking out right here? I'm touching it with my finger. Make sure that your needle threader is upside down like this, because the hook is on the bottom side. So if you try to stick it in like this, you're not going to be able to hook it because the hook's on the top. So turn it upside down, stick it in the hole of your needle, grab your thread, hook it to that hook on there. You can see it's pulling it. That's the hook. And then pull it through, just like that. That's how it works. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Let's get back to the sewing. Again, I'm still pressing everything to the right on this row itself. That way when I get the rows together, the seams will nest and be in opposite directions. So this one again, this one has to have those seams turned in, facing the thing. If I knew what pieces which were going to go where in the beginning, I would have pre-pressed my rows in opposite directions before subcutting. But I didn't know what was going to go where. So that is why it is what it is. And after I get this row done, I'll show you guys how to connect the two rows together. Then I'm going to put the camera in its regular position because it'll help me get things done faster, not being in this position that I'm standing in, because I'm standing and not sitting. And it's nice to have it on the design wall because it's helping me grab the piece and keep them in the position they need to be, instead of like when you make rows of regular quilts, you make regular squares where you can pick up the whole row in order. This way I can't, because each piece is going to twist and turn different directions, so it's easier to just pull it from a wall or a design floor or something.
I heard that if you cut your needle,
Oops, that was not supposed to
if you cut
happen.
your thread in the needle down position, the needle would not come unthreaded.
Yeah, if I keep it down, yes. It doesn't always come unthreaded, but sometimes it does. I got to rip this real quick, guys, because it veered off, and you can see right here, it veered off into less than 1/4 inch of a seam allowance. So I'm just going to pop those couple stitches and realign that back up. Sometimes pieces will shift on you, and that's not your fault, that's the fabric's fault. I usually keep the needle down when I use the thread cutter. But every now and then I still lose my thread. All right. And the next one after this gets turned. Just lay that there, grab the next piece. I probably made this more complicated than it needed to be, but you know, we were making things up as we go, so. And I love to make things up as I go. Oh, not sewing again. It just drives me nuts. It's not keeping the needle down or anything. What it is the thread tail is too short, and when you start off too fast, even if it was down or up, if you start off too fast, it's going to pop it out of there because it's a high momentum machine. If you're using a non-high momentum machine that doesn't sew as fast as this Juki, then I'm pretty sure you would stay threaded the whole time. But this Juki kind of takes off quick if you put your foot down on it properly. It's a pretty quick machine. All right, one more color, and then the last two will be the things, and then we'll nest the seams together for the top, well, the second row, because the top row is not, oops, gotta press these. The top row is mostly straight, but I'll show you guys how to put it on there. All right. Nest them up. I just have to remember to take off slowly, but I am standing to sew as well right now, so that's easier said than done.
You're doing good.
All right, let's hook the whites. Just gonna grab them both down. We're gonna put this here. It's actually off-white, not white. Pressing it towards the white. I'm gonna attach this one. Should be the exact same size. All right, so I'm going to press these, and then we're going to hook 2 rows together. Move out of my way, ruler. I don't need you. Here's this row, and we're going to grab the above row and stick it right on top of here. So it's going to go here like this. Oops. That's the wrong direction. Hold on, I got to put it on the wall real quick. Because I think I turned this upside down. Yep, okay, that goes that way. There's the top one, and that's the bottom one. Okay. So this and this go together. They should be exactly the same size. So I'm going to line these up. So I'm going to go right sides together. I'm going to line these 2 up, and then the next 2 should be opposite this just because we're going to put some clips. Just because I'm showing you guys. So I'm going to clip it at the junctions. And this should be nesting. Clip it at this junction. This one should be nesting. Here they are opposite. If those are matched up, then everything should match right up all the way down. Those two. Huh?
Do you think you sew faster standing or sitting?
I sew fast and standing or sitting. I'm just a fast sewer. I can't control it.
Which one do you think is faster?
I think sitting would be faster. So I'm just nesting these up. I'm pretty sure you can see what I'm doing here.
How's your foot doing?
My foot is okay. I had a steroid to help that, and I mean, it's not like the best foot I could have, but both my feet are messed up anyway, so I'm kind of used to it. I have bad feet. They may be pretty little feet, but they're bad. Scotty says no because he says my feet are ugly. All feet are ugly. So these didn't line up.
I love every other part of your body.
Just not my feet. Every other seam is nesting, which is kind of strange, but I guess pressing them opposite directions doesn't matter. Not with this project. Just lining up my points. And flipping seams, because I guess I'm going to have to do that the whole project, but that's okay. I don't mind. Normally I wouldn't pin this much either. And these, you can line them up by sticking a needle right here with your pin in that tippy top point, matching it with the next tippy top point. But honestly, I don't care. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to use my clips. And I probably am overkilling it with all these clips, but this is for the sake of you guys learning. Put those 2 points together. They look good to me. Normally, I don't even do all this. I just line it up and hope and sew, kind of like Donna Jordan does for Jordan Fabrics. She does the hope and sew method. That's pretty much what I'm doing here. All right, let's go to the top. This is quite heavy with all those clips on it, but we're going to do it. All right, here we go. 1/4 inch seam all the way down. That's why I don't use clips. Because I use a seam guide and the clips get in the way. As long as I can hold it with my finger, that should be good. Oops. Oh, that's fine. It sewed it. Okay, I'm going to press this real quick. Let's check first. Oh, that looks good. See, that was my hope and sew. You see that? That looks great. Let's go to the next one. That one's kind of sloppy, but I'm leaving it. You know why? Because I don't care. I really don't. I honestly don't care. That one looks, whatever. Those points match, see?
If you worry about perfection, you're never going to get anything
Yeah,
done.
if you're trying to be perfect about it, yes, like Scotty said, you'll never get anything done. So I'm leaving it because I am not a perfectionist, and I've showed you guys this before. The only time I would ever really care about it is if it's going to be a show quilt. But this is not a show quilt. This is a use-it quilt. The look is there. The idea behind what we're trying to do here. So that's all that matters. And you could probably press these seams open if you wanted. It'd probably lay flatter, but I don't ever really want to take the time to press anything open. I'm too lazy. I'm a lazy quilter. All the pinning was not even my norm. Like, I don't do that. All right, so I'm going to figure out how this goes up there on the wall, and I'm going to hook the top row to this. And then everything else, we'll put the camera back where it goes for the rest. All right, my row is pressed. I'm just going to leave it right here and grab my top piece. And then I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to sew this one without worrying about clips. We're going to see if this ends up any better, because guess what? I don't care if it does. I mean, if you're trying to do something, maybe you want to care. I don't know. As a beginner, you might want to check. But the more used to it you get, the easier it becomes. Yep, that's right where it needs to be, and the rest is just smooth sailing. And yes, I have taught myself to continuously sew. Here's the end of my row. I'm just going to cut this like this because I'm going to trim the whole thing if I need to anyway. So I'm just going to cut that to size. Get that piece out of the way. And now it doesn't want to cut the thread. Hey. All right, I'm going to put all these clips away because I'm not going to use them now. I just wanted to show you guys that you can clip it or pin it. Pinning is probably better than clipping if you really are trying to nest the seams up properly. All right, I'm going to press this row back and then put the whole thing back on the wall and then take you guys back to where the camera normally goes.
So you want me to put it back?
Yeah, Scotty's going to put it back.
I can do that. I can help.
Camera is going to move right now. Camera's moving. Camera is moving. Someday we won't have to move the camera, but right now we do.
Back, did you have it right here?
Yep. Just face it up.
Did you have it standing up higher? Or just right there?
I don't know. I don't remember. All right. Put it back on the wall and start sewing the rows. There we go. And you can see how much it loses. Look at the difference in that size up here. I got about 1.5 inches over here, and I got about almost 5 inches right here. So I lost all that and all those seams. So I'm going to go ahead now and just sew regular. All right, here we go. Sew these two together. It's easier for me to stand right now because this is a back and forth project. So I'm just going to sew and iron. These seams need to go the other way. Oh. I thought it lost the thread there for a moment, but it didn't. If my desk was higher, I'd probably stand to sew all the time. This is a pretty low desk.
Probably put some 2x4s under it here and there.
Lift
Give
it.
3 different spots on each side, but yeah.
Or we can build a box to put my machine on so that it sits higher.
We could do that. That'd probably be easy.
I'm trying to lift the desk.
Well, as you know, I'm no master. I can build things.
You can build it, I can design it.
Yes, that's it. I'm not the designer. I can build it, but I can't design it. There you go. I can use all the tools which our neighbor has, but I can't figure out.
That way I can remove it if I didn't want to stand that day, you know?
Yeah. You imagine poor Eric trying to stand at this? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he would be way too high.
He has to bend over just to sit at it because it's so low. You know?
Yeah.
Guess since we're talking about it,
Oop, gotta turn these ones. Sure the way it's supposed to go before I sew it.
no, Eric's on. He said he's probably not even so. Yeah, stand.
Yeah, I don't mind standing to sew. I don't know. It's one of those things. I think I get more movement when I stand and sew, so that my body doesn't get like all there's a word for it, fatigued or whatever, because instead of just sitting there, I'm not putting too much strain on my back. I'm not hunched over. I'm standing here, you know. Okay, something happened here. What happened here? It's this one that goes that way. No. What happened? Something got turned. This one got turned. Okay, I screwed this row up, guys. Let's press all these seams back so I can rip them.
You need to rip.
I need to rip. I messed up when I got to this triangle right here. This one was not supposed to go that way. That's what happened. All right, time to rip. Oi, oi, oi. No. All right, so I'm gonna rip these 3 off and then them apart and then put them back on the wall and make sure that that is what it's supposed to be, because even I make mistakes, guys. It happens. Oh my goodness, just rip already. Sometimes it doesn't want to rip. Like right now. Oh, instead it rips the fabric. I think I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. One stitch at a time. And I can't see those 1 stitches at a time because I'm half blind with up close.
Would that help?
Oh.
How about that? I didn't even notice it. Just make it brighter in here.
So I'm going to ruin my quilt right now because it has that fabric piece got ripped. Sorry about that. Can I have a water, please?
Yeah. Do you need juice or anything? Do you need a cough drop?
I have a cough drop right here. I'm going to
Just water?
just water. Okay. That was the start. I'm going to put this. I only ripped the white. See, the white got ripped at the seam. So I'm going to remove this piece also, and I'm going to replace that white piece with a 1.5 inch strip and just, this is what happens in my world sometimes. And I'm pretty sure this happens to all of you. It's not just me today. That's how you know it's a sharp seam ripper though, huh? It rips the fabric along the way.
Can you glue it with something when you...
No, it's ripped. I'm just going to rip that out and put a new piece in.
You have a spare piece you can substitute?
Yep, I have a spare 1.5 inch strip somewhere around here. Or I can just substitute for a different piece because guess what? I have extra pieces right here. I'll just make it easy on myself.
Can you use spray fabric glue?
No, this is not a fabric glue situation. It's literally ripped. I'll have Scott bring it to you and show you. It's really ripped. Well, you can't take it just yet anyway. I'm not done ripping it off.
I thought you meant glue.
Oh, no, I have tons of fabric glue, but it's not going to work for this situation. I'm just going to be super cautious when I rip the other pieces, that's all. Okay, I'm going to put this where it goes so that I can remember. Pull all those little loose threads off. Okay, it goes there. And then we're going to replace it with this piece right here. And this, Scott will show you how it ripped because there's no fixing that. And then the rest I will rip. If I find where did I place that seam ripper? Oh,
I think I'll help you find it.
I got it. I found it.
Can you use the top and bottom piece still?
I'm just gonna
At all?
throw it in my scraps.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. I'm just gonna rip this way because it wants to eat the fabric. The other, putting it through and slicing it, definitely is not working to my advantage. So we got a few minutes of ripping today. Technically, that piece is correct. So maybe it's just this one I need to turn. We're going to see right now. Place it up there and look. So if this went this way, like that, that can't go that way. And that can't go that way. All right, I do have to rip them. So that would be this direction. No, it would not. What's happening here? I'm so confused. I had the pieces wrong. That's what happened. Oh, let's put that way. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what I did wrong here. That one would go this way. Okay, I see. Yep, I have to rip them. Gotta rip it all. It's just one of them days. I got a frog in my room. Rip it, rip it.
Rip it. That's funny.
The frog needed to come out and play. You know, I don't even call, everybody calls their seam ripper Jack usually, Jack the Ripper, but I don't have a name for my seam ripper. It's just a seam ripper. But right now it's a frog. Okay, press this piece back flat again. Only because, you know, when you take seams apart, it messes everything up. Let's put this one right here. Nope, that's not going to go that way. Go that way. That's what I did wrong. Will these ones be correct? No, it will not. Let's rip these two. Well, there went half my morning.
Okay. You're doing good.
You guys
been on an hour.
You guys could see this live.
Look at how much you got done in an hour. Plus, it's good for them to see you make mistakes. That way they know how to fix them when they make them.
Yeah. You guys all think that I'm like superpower Tiffany, but in reality, I make mistakes all the time. I'm always messing something up.
She has had me help her pick plenty of times also.
Yeah,
I've picked out lots of quilting designs.
I've had to pick quilting. I've had to pick almost like blocks completely out, just like a whole square out, and change the orientation because I put things in wrong. And yeah, I've had to rip all sorts of times for all sorts of reasons. It's not that I'm not paying attention or whatever. I just, you know, even I have problems. All right, let's see. Let's pull all these little loose threads.
You do paper piecing?
I've done paper piecing, yes. I just don't do it very often, and I definitely don't do it on camera very often. I did a whole series with Sculliver, and that kind of ruined my mood for paper piecing for a while because that was a lot of work.
It was a big pattern there, though, Sculliver. That was huge.
Yeah. Sculliver was big. It was a big one. Okay. Just need to make sure that I'm putting this up there right now, because I know I messed something up. I don't know what I messed up, but it looked good on the wall at first until I started sewing things. So this one goes that way. Is that right now? Okay. Now that's correct. All right, let's put this back together now. This one needs its piece flipped. Okay, just put that right here where I could see it. Oh. All right. Scotty's going to take the dog out real quick. Not our dog, but the neighbor's dog. So he'll be right back. If you guys have any questions, just wait till he gets back. Okay. Go like this. Make sure. That way I don't mess up again. That's funny. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, that goes right there. Those are already pressed inward, which is good. Next. Hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful week. Me, I've been long arm quilting for days upon days, trying to get all my jobs done because I kind of got myself behind a little. And I try not to get behind, but it happens job-wise. My vacation, coming back from vacation was fine. If I wasn't sick, I would have had everything done. But getting sick kind of messed everything up. Trying to make sure before pulling the next piece down because I really don't want to mess up now. Okay, this is why I like standing. Come on. Well, I made myself almost mess up again. Let's make sure again.
Almost.
Almost. Glad I didn't sew. Gotta flip these seams. Although it doesn't seem to matter in the final thing because once you start putting the rows together, it goes the other way anyway. So, guess it doesn't matter unless you press open. Pressing open might be a good idea.
Where's Sculliver now?
Sculliver is hanging in the closet. Sculliver is... I wanted it to be a show quilt, and I need the time to show quilt it, and I need the thread. I haven't ordered it yet because I'm really busy with other stuff, so that's why I haven't ordered myself some rainbow variegated thread. Goes this way. Once I get that thread and the time, then I will quilt it. But I think my dream quilt is going to be next. When it comes to my show quilts, that is. I think I'm going to have the dream quilt. I messed that up again. I think I'm going to have that dream quilt done first. Then I'll do Sculliver. because a lot of my friends are learning that kits don't do very well in shows, and Skulliver was a kit. So it's more for like local fairs and local shows. So it's not very important to me to have that completely done right now because, again, if I was going to enter it into a big show, it wouldn't fare very well because it's a kit. And my dream quilt is me. So all me, my design, so it won't get any.
Have you ever gotten really upset with one of your projects, or is it just fix it and move on?
Yes, I have gotten upset and I've walked away, and to this day I still have some that just sit there in boxes because I just don't have the gumption to ever finish it. So I have a few of those. I've also had to walk away for like a month or two just because it's annoyed the living dog crap out of me. And I don't even have thread again. Yeah, I've got quite a few quilts that are unfinished because of something. There's also a couple unfinished quilt tops because to this day, and they're from years ago too, to this day, I cannot figure out what I want on them. One I pre-drew with chalk on it, and I can't get the chalk off until it's washed, so it drives me nuts because I really don't want to quilt that design on it anymore, and I never wash my quilts before I sell them, so that one's going to be a tough one to, what's the word for it, to figure out because it's going to have to get washed, but I wanted it to be a show quilt, so I think it was because it was Taylor chalk that I drew on it with. I drew a giant peacock, and I wanted to quilt that giant peacock, but it doesn't look right, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It just sits in the closet collecting dust. Yeah, I tried the damp cloth thing. It didn't work. The chalk is on there. And it's been on there now for about 4.5 years, 5 years almost. Because I drew on it before I got my King Quilter long arm, and I only had the Juki on a frame. So it's been like that for a long time.
One person just said put it in a pillowcase and put it in the dryer. I never heard of that.
To get the chalk off? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I never heard of that either.
All right. I'm just going to make the rows, then I'm going to attach the rows because just stay where I put you. The standing and sewing, I can't keep the foot pedal where I need it. That's the only problem with standing to sew.
Runs away.
Yeah, it runs away from me. Where am I at? This way. Press these the opposite way.
It's a true walking foot.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a walking foot. It walks away from me. Come on. So I'm just pressing the seams all one way because it honestly doesn't matter once I put the rows together unless you're pressing the seams open. So I'm just doing my own thing here, guys. So if you don't want to follow me and just do whatever. Pretty sure once this project is done, I'm going to get back to having regular projects, not make it up projects, because make it up projects are technically for Sew Sundays. This is supposed to be project based for Breakfast at Tiffany's, but I didn't have anything I really wanted to do right away when I started this last week. Or not last week, the week before, you know what I mean. When I came back. Just wanted to play with a jelly roll. That's what I wanted to do.
Have you ever tried baby wipes on the chalk?
I have not tried the baby wipes on the chalk, no.
That might.
I just tried wet rag and spritz. Let's make sure this was the correct direction again, because okay, that's the way it goes. This is really easily to get confused because I'm trying to keep this orientation that we created here. So it's easily confusable. Now you know why I didn't stack my blocks.
What is your opinion on the press starch pen?
The Easy Press starch pen. My opinion, you guys want to know my opinion? Here's my opinion. Hold on 2 seconds. Here's my opinion. Do you see my opinion? It's unopened, never used. That's my opinion on the Acorn precision piecing stuff. If you want a real opinion, go over to Sew Becca's channel and watch her video, but I have yet to use it. So that's my opinion. Yeah, I'm kind of behind on that. I think for me personally, it's an extra step, and I don't like extra steps. So, I mean, but she gets super flat seams, so I mean, that's a plus. Because obviously I was there in person and I was able to witness it in person. But I did not use it while I was there either at her house. So, unfortunately, I can't give you a true, honest opinion other than it's an extra step and that's why I haven't used it yet. It's been in that drawer for like a year now. So if you want to invest in it, go ahead, try it. You may like it. Excuse me.
Try it and let us know.
Try it and let me know. Is Becca absolutely correct about the stuff being awesome, or is it not for everybody, you know? Sorry, I have things just like falling down here. Oh, and it didn't cut the thread. Next. This one has to be pressed opposite. This way. Now it's talking to myself time. Even though you guys can all hear me just fine.
Talk to yourself. We all do it.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
I'm the best person to talk to. I have a high opinion on things. There's only one thing about piecing long rows like this with these. It's the fact that it hangs like this off of a table. So the longer your pieces get, or your rows, the easier it is to distort them if you don't hold it up onto a table while you're making your stuff. It's just going to keep falling. It's hard to keep it up there too.
Do you know of any mini irons that you recommend?
I do not know of any mini irons that I recommend. I do own one though. I actually have a Rowenta.
Want me to get it?
No, it's right here. I have this lovely, like new Rowenta covered in dust. But the handle's broke. The pin is missing that holds it up to iron. So I could still iron with it as long as I use my fingers to hold it down like this. But I probably should start using it again for little things like this, what I'm doing now. But
put water in it, you can try it now.
I like it. It gets nice and hot and it stays hot and so on and so forth. The problem is again, I got to hold it like this to iron, which is no big deal, you know, to hold it. But yeah, I own one mini iron. Oh, get up there, cord. There we go. It just sits up there on the top shelf. You know,
Dust collector.
it's a dust collector. Yes, exactly. All right, last two pieces. And then we'll put it back on the wall and work on the next row. Coming together quite nicely if I don't have to rip. This one goes that way first. Sure getting a workout today. And it's not sewing again. I don't know what the problem is today. Today's just not my day to sew. I'm supposed to be long arm quilting is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what it's trying to tell me. You know, sometimes things in life just go a certain way because you're supposed to be doing something else. And then when you go do something else, nothing bad happens anymore. Today's just one of those days. I'm supposed to do something else, but I wanted to do this and hang out with all of you. I have jobs that need to get done because all that's going good. It's like signs or whatever. It's my sign that I shouldn't be sewing today on the Juki. It's so much easier, though, to use the thread cutter on the Juki than it is to pull it away and cut the thread manually instead of automatically. Come on, line back up. This is so much fun, though. Creating new stuff.
It's all about just having fun, right?
Yep, it's all about the fun. And you guys haven't noticed, I can still use the knee lift while standing too. Oh, you take it off, you mean?
They can see the camera.
Oh.
They apparently have nothing to say.
Oh, my lovely Breakfast at Tiffany's panel that was made for me for my Breakfast at Tiffany's. Look at that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yep, I just opened it on a mail opening the other day. It is quite awesome. Very thoughtful for my lovely show here. I'm not no Audrey Hepburn in style, but I definitely got her beat with all my ability to make quilts.
Hey, you never know. Maybe Audrey Hepburn was a quilter.
You never know if Audrey Hepburn was a quilter. She could have been.
I don't know anything about her. She might have been. I doubt it, but you never know.
I don't know any actor, honestly, that makes quilts. Actor, actress, you know what I'm saying. I don't know anybody that makes quilts. They're too busy making movies. They don't have time to make a quilt. Although if they were me, they could. Not saying I'm fast or anything, but yeah, no. Everybody knows I'm quick at what I do. I'm telling you, it's the Juki. The Juki is what helps. If I had to sew on a slow machine, I'd probably be fast too. Never mind. I think I went pretty quick when I made a quilt on my other Juki. When I first got it, I used that, the new HL, what is it? H something. HZL F600. That's what it is.
The brother machine?
No, I'm talking about my other Juki machine. I made a quilt on it already, remember?
Oh, yes.
When I first got it.
Your
And
Juki too.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the Juki too.
Yep. It was a great machine to piece on, but it was just a little on the slower side for me. Not much slower, but.
You know what size this is going to be?
I have no idea at the moment. Right now, I could measure. Where's a measuring thing? Can I have a measuring? I got one right here. It's right there. It is going to be 46.5 inches by, I don't know yet.
How long arm you have?
I have a King Quilter 2 Elite. That's the long arm I have. I absolutely love the machine. And honestly, I've tried many, many, many machines. Nothing against all the other machines. But my little cheapy machine, because it's cheaper than most, still, $10,000 with everything. But my little cheapy machine is so much smoother and quicker response than other machines that I have played with. And then some of them are stiff. Like the Grace machines seemed very stiff to me. My machine just like glides smoothly. It's crazy. It's a big difference than a lot of machines. You'd have to be in California though to try it out in person and compare it to other machines. Because that's where SewingMachinesPlus actual building is, or you can just take my word for it and buy one and be like, oh my God, this really is amazing. So, why do you guys think I traded in my winning Capri, the Handy Quilter Capri? I traded that in for this second Juki and my other Juki and my other Juki for all my Juki machines because it's not that I don't like Handy Quilter, it's what I was going to get in the first place, but now that I'm used to my King Quilter, it'd be really hard to use a different machine. Yep. Scotty put a link in, though, for it. All right, next row. Just click on the link. Oh. Yeah, the link has all the information that you will need. I'm going to have to sit soon. My feet are getting tired already.
Well, you do have a chair.
I do have a chair.
I guess Marie Osmond does quilting and makes dolls.
Oh, look at that.
And the lady that played Marsha Brady.
And the lady that played Marsha. Marsha, go make me a quilt. That's funny. Well, that's cool. At least there's some out there that make a quilt. Excuse me. The only thing that's left of being sick, guys, is this cough. Once that's gone, I should be 100% again. It's spring, though, and it's heating up, so it's probably not going to go away right away. Probably going to stick with me a few more weeks.
Yeah, a lot of people mentioned it's spring break.
Yep. Well, the first day of spring was like yesterday or something, or the day before. I don't remember.
Well, it's been spring break in our town for the past 2 weeks, and it will be for the next 4.
Yeah. Spring break is a long time here because all the colleges come here from all sorts of areas to play on the lake for spring break. So the spring break here lasts for weeks upon weeks. It's like 6 weeks worth of young, crazy college partiers that come here. And the town gets congested with boats and parties.
We don't like
Us locals here don't like it, but we live with it because it brings business to all the local food companies because they all eat fast food.
We live with it. We're forced to. What kind of thread does your Juki use?
I, right now, am on a Essentials by Connecting Threads kick. That's what I've been using for a couple months now. And then when I run out of that, I'm going to try a different brand of thread, probably from a different company. But I do like Superior thread. I like a Signature thread. I like a bunch of different threads so far. The only thread that my Juki has issues with is the small spools of Aurifil. The bigger spools will work, the big huge cones, but even the medium spools don't work very well. They thread breaks consistently, and it just shreds and stuff going through the machine. I think this machine is just a little too fast for the Aurifil. It works great in my other machines, but not in this one. So I use it for anything other than this machine. But this one right now, I'm running Essentials from Connecting Threads. It's actually really good. It's a good thread. I've not had no complaints with it yet. And I did like thread pulling tests with it and everything. And yeah, it doesn't break very easily. It's a very nice thread. And it's 100% cotton, in case you're curious. And it's not too expensive either. It's actually affordable. Oops. Which was the turn on for me. Probably. It's getting there.
Well, it's been on for a while.
And yes, I put water in my irons because I like the steam. Well, Scott puts the water in the irons because I like the steam.
Yep, we have our plenty of iron waters. They're marked in every room. We have bottles of iron waters that I have to fill up for her.
Yep. Oh, wait. Let's make sure that was right. Because for some strange reason, it didn't look right. Oh, it is right. Okay.
Do you use graph paper for your designs? What do you recommend?
I use graph paper, yes. I do have EQ8, and I'm slowly learning how to use it. Slowly is the key word. I'm not good with computers and technology, so that's why I haven't mastered EQ8 yet. I'm still at the beginning stages of barely learning how to do anything on it. But little by little, I will eventually get it. Oops. But for now, I use graph paper or no paper at all, and I just write scribbles down for measurements and numbers and things that I would need to remember for later. Because most things I just make it up as I go anyway. Eventually, I want to be able to have a pattern for you guys from using EQ8 with illustrations, how to put it together and stuff. But that's a long time from now. Unless someone wants to do it for me, It's going to take me a couple years to get that far. Because, yeah, I'm really behind on learning it. But I play with it every now and then. I turn the computer on and turn on the EQ8 and attempt to design something. But I still don't know how. Other than using their preloaded blocks, I honestly don't know how to design my own thing yet. I don't even know how to use their grid thing on there. I will eventually, but right now I do not know. Let me make sure what way that went. Oh, that was this way because I did press the seams. That's right.
Is there a fabric you dislike and stay away from?
A fabric I dislike and stay away from? No, because I like all fabric. I don't really purchase ever on my own holiday fabric. Nothing against the holidays. I just don't like holiday fabrics. It's not appealing to me at all. So I don't want a fabric that's covered in Easter bunnies or Santa Clauses. To me, it's just not appealing. It doesn't look cute. I mean, I don't know. It's just not my thing, but I use it when people send it and I make, holiday related quilts, but I'm more, I don't know. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea. Plus, like, I know I've done holiday quilts, but if you think about it, those holiday quilts only get pulled out once a year. Don't you want to see the beauty you created all year long? I mean, honestly, that's the way I see it. That's just my own personal, thing. Nothing against anybody who pulls their stuff out once a year, but to me, it's just, I don't know. I want to see it all year long.
Well, there's a lot of Halloween fabric.
Yeah, I do like some Halloween fabrics. There's quite a few Halloween ones, but some of them are any time of year. Cobwebs are any time of year. They don't have to be on Halloween,
And you got some awesome Grinch fabric.
And
it could be Christmas fabric, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I do have some awesome Grinch fabric. Because I do like the Grinch movies, but I just, I don't go purposely out and buy holiday fabric. So that would be the one thing I don't like. And then I'm not really keen on browns. I mean, it looks good when it's blended like this, but I don't go out and purposely buy brown fabric either. I like a rainbow array of color. And I don't really like, brown is not on the rainbow. Brown is on the ground. That's what it is. I guess it's just because I see too much desert and brownness here, so it's just not my color. But I use it. Again, same as holiday fabric. I use them, I just don't buy them purposely. Unless a client specifically said, hey, I need a brown background on blah, blah, blah. Like, I like reproduction prints. Those look great with brown backgrounds, but I'd rather use a cream.
Have you ever made a quilted jacket?
A quilted jacket? No, I have never made a quilted anything. Oh, actually, no, I made a quilted skirt with Alexa. So, yeah, no, I actually have made it a quilted item of clothing. But never a jacket. I want to, though. I don't want to cut up a quilt. I just want to make a quilt for me to cut up. But I'm not going to purposely go out and buy an antique vintage quilt for that. I will do my own piecing, quilted on the long arm, and then cut out all my pattern pieces. Because it does look really nice, those quilted jackets and stuff. I like the idea of them.
Do you like tie-dye fabric?
I do like tie-dye fabric, yes.
What's that brand that I like a lot? Country brand.
You like, what is it called?
Something Troubles.
Kansas Troubles. Scotty
Yeah,
likes
there's a
the
lot of
Kansas
browns in
Troubles.
there, and you like those ones.
Yes, I like them too. There's a lot of browns in it, but I do like it.
Yeah.
They're really pretty.
Kansas Troubles.
Yes, Scotty likes the Kansas Troubles lines. Yeah. But Scott does like country stuff. Country colors. Like this right here is country colors to me. Not my average, my go-to colors, but close enough. There's a nice array of color with the pink and everything in here. And yellow and dark green. My design wall is just cotton batting, and once it's completely filled with a ton of threads, I'm going to take it down and put a new piece up. But I will use this piece towards inside of a dark quilt. It won't go in anything that has white in the background because it has too many threads on it, and I'm not going to pluck every single individual thread off just to use it as batting. But it's a nice 72-inch by 90-inch piece of batting, so it's a nice good size for a nice twin size quilt. Eventually I want to do some foam board and then put fleece on it. Fleece, not fleece. Not flannel. Felt. That's what it's called.
Yes, that's what you
I knew there was a word. I couldn't find it. It's an F word, but felt. I eventually want to make a felt board wall because the fabric sticks to felt really good. Excuse me. Hold on a second. I really got a cough. Oh, about that, guys. I really had to cough. And it's really loud in the microphone. Okay. I just have a few more pieces once I'm done with these.
That's okay. Take all the time you want. Job is right here for today. You need another water or anything?
No, I have plenty of water. I know my eyes are watering now, though.
You have to use batting when making a table runner.
You don't have to use batting when making a table runner, but it does look better when it's quilted with batting in it. That's personal preference, though, if you don't want batting in it. I use batting scraps. That way I'm not wasting batting. My batting scraps is what allows me to make as many table runners as I do, because I always have scraps. Because I'm a long armor, and so I buy the 120-inch batting. Ooh, what happened there? This is what happened when your machine gets a tangle. Show them on the camera. For those that are beginners, this is a tension wind up. So the bobbin should be taken out when that happens. Something happened with the bobbin. And also I'm out of bobbin. So sometimes that happens. Don't worry, just re-sew it. I leave all that thread there too. I don't actually take all that thread off. I just leave it right there and stitch the next one. Stitch that piece back with a nice good seam. But yeah, that happens every now and then. And it's just because the bobbin untangled itself or unwound itself faster than the machine can sew. But it does happen. It usually happens at the end of a bobbin or an not properly wound bobbin. It can happen with that too. And that can happen on the long arm as well. If your bobbin is not wound to the tension with your long arm, that could also happen underneath the quilt. Standing and sewing is my thing today, and that's why I'm having so many issues. That's the problem, because I chose to stand up. Because none of this happens when I sit down. What is it stuck on? Stuck on something. Oh, I see. All right. All right. I have 2 more rows left to sew, which is like the top and the bottom that I showed you already. So it's my long straight piece and then this unit right here. And then I will cut off the excess. And then I have to sew all the rest of these rows together. But for now, I am going to stop, because I've been doing this a while. Here, you can unplug that now. I'm going to stop because we have hit our 2-hour mark. I try not to be over 2 hours. I am actually going to go ahead and finish sewing this completely up. And then the next breakfast at Tiffany's is the first Thursday of April. And hopefully by then I'll have it all sewn up and I'm going to add a couple borders on it. I'm going to trim it and then add a couple borders. That way it's nice and square. Add a couple borders and then I'll be able to show you guys the finished top and then we'll get to the next project. That way I'm not dragging this on over and over and over again. So instead of dragging it on, I will just go ahead and finish off camera. I showed you how to make the triangles. Again, the triangle units is a 2.5-inch strip on both sides of a 1.5-inch strip. Then you cut out your triangles, which are 5.5 inches with your equilateral triangle, which I have no idea where it is, right here. You would cut out your equilateral 60-degree triangle at 5.5 inches. Okay. And then you arrange them however you want. So you can do this one where it looks like C's and D's, because that's pretty much what it looks like. Or you can have them, again, however you wish. You can do the same thing that I'm doing or this. Then you piece your rows together. Again, make sure that triangles, because they're not going to go in opposite directions naturally unless you press half of everything one way and half of everything the other way. And then you piece it in rows. Put those rows together, and then you have a quilt top. So we used, if you're going to do this way, these end pieces are 5.5 inches, and then they're cut on the diagonal. Make sure that you leave your 1/4 inch. So if you have a 60-degree corner trimmer, that might work. Mine are not exactly, but they do make half triangles right here. They make half ones. This one doesn't have a 1/4 inch on both sides, so that kind of wastes that one. But if you line it up on the opposite side of it, you can do your straight for your start. Then this piece is a 5.5 inch by 3.5 inch piece on the ends of everything but that top and bottom. And then those you just cut the direction that you need it to lay. So if you know you need it to go to the right, cut it to the right. If you need it to cut to the left, cut it to the left. And that's if you're using a print fabric. That way you can make sure you have both sides. And then again, same thing with the triangles. You can cut both sides at the same time. Just know one side goes on the right and one side goes on the left. That way everything works out and this, will be finished. So again, the first Thursday of April, I will show you guys this. Pretty sure it'll be completed top, and then we'll start something new then. But for now, I at least showed you how to do every part of the whole entire thing so far.
You know what you're going to quilt on it? The design?
I do not know what I'm going to quilt on it. I might just meander the whole entire thing and be done with it, or maybe flowers or paisleys, because there's flowers and paisleys in this print. There's also leaves. I could quilt leaves. I could also just go in on the triangles with a ruler and echo each triangle. That would look really cool too. I mean, there's so many options with quilting on this, just to have fun with it. But to get it done quicker, I would just meander it, just so that way it's fully there, or a flower again, or a leaf, because I'm pretty quick with meanders, flowers, and leaves. Everything else I have to take my time with. All right, any more questions? No?
Not that I saw.
Not that you saw?
Hold on. I lost internet. I just got reconnected. Did you get any hand quilting done?
I have not gotten any hand quilting done whatsoever. I need to get started on that actually, and finally do it, because I'm a little on.
Super busy.
I've been super busy, super busy, and I should have quilted my hand-pieced quilt. I should have quilted that this winter, but again, I've been really busy. I work a lot, and then I come to you guys as well. So that doesn't leave me much me time. I guess it's like working a 9 to 5, and you don't get much time after work, because you got to clean your house and cook food and blah blah blah. By the time you get to sewing, you only get an hour. That's pretty much what I am lately. So, alrighty, guys. Well, if there's nothing else. Oh no, I don't have to do the cooking and cleaning. I'm saying anybody else that works a regular job outside the home. I work a job in the home. So, all right. If there is nothing else, thank you guys all for breakfast. I enjoyed it. It was lovely. Now it's lunchtime. It's lunch and relax time. So I will see you guys for breakfast at Tiffany's again the first Thursday of April, and then regularly I will see you on Sunday at 5 p.m. So bye everybody.